my battles.
Gods forbid you let me give you some backup.
You are not ready for zombies. Perhaps a large fish you would be well suited to battle, but not these vile beasts. I must defend them from attacking our home without the risk of losing you.
Besides, I did not become chief by requiring backup.
What exactly made you chief, Father?
It is not in a Viking's nature to boast.
Actually, I'm pretty certain that's one of the things we're most known for.
Granted. Well, it is not this Viking's nature to boast, for a chief is not meant to remind others of his accomplishments, but to help lead his people to accomplishments of their own. But I shall share with you the one accomplishment that granted me the title of chief. You are aware that our land is home to 4 Viking clans. You and I belong to the Eriksons. Eriksons are smart, cunning, and experts in combat. We fend off monsters, conquer land, and execute missions for our people. When you are old enough, you too will be entrusted with all of these duties. Then there are the Aldersons. They are wise and gentle. Aldersons keep our historical records and provide judgment and advice to the other clans. And we mustn't forget the Jorgens. They are fishermen, farmers, blacksmiths, and caretakers. While the Eriksons get all the glory, Jorgens are the true backbone of our society. Without them, we would have nothing. And lastly, the Fire Clan. They are the most wild and unpredictable. They hold no specific purpose in our community, but you can always count on them to keep things, lively.
Father, I've lived amongst these people my whole life. I know this.
Aye, but did you know there was a time that these clans did not live in harmony? Once, many years ago, all Vikings fought for right of the land we now share. Oh, and the land was overrun by monsters as well. But it was I who banished the monsters. Once and for all, I peacefully united all the Viking clans here under my leadership. And all the rabid monster clans went to different corners of the country where they formed their own societies. Still, every so often, monsters come back and try to reclaim this land. But as chief, I will never allow it.
I always took the monsters for uncivilized animals. You mean to tell me that they're organized into their own clans?
Yes, but they are still despicable creatures. They were not lucky enough to be united by a caring leader like myself, so they remain constantly feuding.
Tell me about them.
Well, first of all, there's the ghosts and zombies. These undead monsters are anyone who is ever not good enough for Valhalla and not bad enough for hell.
So just really average people.
Yes, they're quite expendable, but there are a great many of them. Their strength is in their numbers. Then, the gorillas and werewolves. They are beasts of brute force, not the wisest creatures you'll encounter, but beating one of them in combat would be quite an accomplishment. Next, the pumpkins and scarecrows. They are intelligent, methodical, and use fear as their weapon. They are not to be crossed.
Is there a 4th monster clan?
It's not a clan, just one single beast, supposedly older than time itself. He is the one foe I know I could never defeat. Luckily, that creature does not concern himself with our wars.
Well, that's kinda awesome.
No! Do not praise the monsters, boy. As I have told you, since you were a boy, even the slightest hint of tolerance towards those creatures is unacceptable!
You know, I feel like problems might arise for making bold generalizations about an entire race.
Preposterous! The only claims I shall ever make about the monsters are based on first-hand experience. Those creatures are evil. They are a mistake. And I pray that one day the gods allow me to correct that mistake and eradicate them. One day, my boy. One day.
Today, I learned about monsters. I learned that they are grouped into clans based on their species qualities, and they each have their own separate territories. I wonder what it's like in those lands. Absolutely chaotic, I'd assume. I'm surprised they even managed to live in clans. You'd think they would all just eat each other. Vicious beasts. They have absolutely no...
Hey, he's starting to wake up.
Where am I?
You're a bit far from home, that's where.
Welcome to Pumpkinland.
You've kidnapped me. I'll kill you all. I'll kill you.
No. We were on our way to raid some of you Vikings when we found your unconscious body laying right outside our territory. Figured you'd tripped on a twig and hit your head on some stones. So we dragged your body here.
That's still kidnapping. You took me against my will. And it's probably even worse that you did it while I was unconscious.
How do you know we weren't gonna give you medical attention?
Were you?
No.
But we thought you might be coming to raid us, so we brought you here as our prisoner.
I wasn't coming to raid you. I didn't even know there was such a thing as Pumpkinland until this morning.
And on the day you discovered our land existed, you just so happened to be walking towards it?
I was journaling and I must have wandered a bit further than normal, okay?
Journaling while walking? That seems a bit difficult. How do you manage to keep your words from smudging while walking over bumpy terrain?
That's irrelevant. You need to let me go at once.
We'll take you to our king. He'll decide if you are to be released or not. A Viking. It has been quite some time since one of your kind was in our land.
Sir, I'm young. Though it pains me to admit it, I know quite little of monsters and of the world in general. I was traveling alone with no more than a dagger and a journal. I was most definitely not coming to raid you.
Even if that was not your intention, who's to say you will not come back to raid us another day if we release you?
Well, if I may, your lordship, this lot right here said they were on their way to raid the Vikings, my people. So would it not be hypocritical to imprison me for a crime that you all were about to commit?
You have no idea what you speak of. When the Vikings come after us, it is for petty reasons. But when we go after the Vikings, it is righteous.
And why is that?
Because the land that you Vikings occupy once belonged to monsters. Sure, we fought with other monsters over it, but at least it was free of humans.
It's true. When the Vikings came along, they disrupted the complex politics between the monsters and stole the land all for themselves.
No, the monsters and Vikings fought over the land from the beginning, and the Vikings rightfully won.
Monsters lived in that land for thousands of years before Vikings ever decided to interfere with our affairs. Thanks to the selfishness of the Vikings, each clan was forced to find its own land. These lands were small, with dangerous conditions and infertile soil. But I'm sure your chief would never tell you that.
My father is an honest man.
Father? Your father is the chief. So you're Zach Erickson.
Yes, that's me.
Man, we mustn't kill or harm this boy. His father is the chief and would likely initiate a war if we did. But we can absolutely hold him for ransom. Send a letter to Chief Erickson at once. Listen to me, boy. You are lucky that you were found by the pumpkins and scarecrows. For if you had been found by the gorillas and werewolves, you would have already been torn to shreds by now. Those animals are vicious. You're lucky that you ended up with the most civilized of the monsters.
Sir, your son has been captured by the pumpkins and scarecrows. They demand a hefty price for his return.
That blasted fool of a boy. This is the last time I will ever correct one of his mistakes. Fetch the silver from the chest in my hut. I'll pay the ransom. But when he gets back here, I'll teach him a lesson.
Yes, sir. Your father has paid for your release. Up now, let's go.
It's about time you beasts released me.
Answer me this, Zach. This clan of beasts brought you, a known enemy, into our custody, and now we're releasing you safely. If your clan had found one of our own, would you have been any kinder? And if the answer is no, then ask yourself this. What exactly gives you the notion that Vikings are more moral or sophisticated than monsters?
Father, it's so good to be.
You disgraced me, boy. Wandering off, getting captured by the enemy like a fool.
Dad,
I am not your dad. You are no son of mine. You will call me Chief Erickson, and you will fear me.
what's all this about? I don't understand.
I told you not to meddle with monsters. I told you weren't ready.
I made a mistake. I had no idea I would end up in Pumpkin Land.
Precisely. You were ignorant. I refuse to tolerate ignorance, boy. I hereby exile you.
You're jumping to completely irrational conclusions here. I'm your son.
Leave, child. I'm too ashamed to look you in the eye.
This is absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. My own father disowned me for nothing. You know, that scarecrow may have had a point. Those guys in Pumpkin Land honestly weren't that different from my own people. Maybe if I go and pledge my loyalty to their almighty Pumpkin King, they'll take me in as one of their own. Hold up. How do I get to Pumpkin Land from here? In fact, where am I exactly?
You stumbled a bit too close to Gorilla Town.
Too close.
Come to raid us? Try to conquer our land?
Raid? Conquer?
No, please let me explain. I am Zach Erickson, son of Chief Erickson. I somehow accidentally wound up in Pumpkin Land. They captured me, put me up for ransom, and my father paid the price. But upon my return, he exiled me. I left and somehow ended up here, in Gorilla Town.
Sure. A Viking accidentally winds up in 2 monster clans in one day. And an Erickson at that. The very Viking clan dedicated to getting rid of monsters.
Please. I was a Viking. I was next in line to be chief. I had everything going for me, and now I have nothing. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I am. Besides, lost. I was on my way to the Pumpkin King to pledge my loyalty to him. May I do the same to you? Will you accept me into your ranks?
You will have to consult with our leader, the Gorilla King.
What have we here?
Your Highness, my name is Zach Erickson. I come here seeking refuge, a place to live, a community of some sorts.
Do my ears deceive me? A Viking begging to live amongst monsters?
It's true, sir.
Now why would you want shelter from vicious, mindless creatures like us?
Because I have nowhere else to go. This is my last resort.
You fool. You're no better than the rest of them. You think we're no more than savages.
Yes, I was taught that. But I may have been wrong. The pumpkins and scarecrows were not especially cruel to me. But they said if you all found me, you would tear me to pieces.
We will not. You will be spared, Zach Erickson. But you will serve a greater purpose than floating around and taking up space and resources.
Yes, sir. Anything.
You are going to train, Zach Erickson. You will become stronger than you have ever been in your life. Stronger than your father, even, perhaps. You will have the strength of a gorilla and the skills and expertise of a Viking. Once you have accomplished this, I will send you to the land of the ghosts and zombies. There, you will avenge my daughter, the gorilla princess, who was murdered by them.
How will I know which ghosts or zombies were her murderers?
That does not matter. You will kill as many as you can.
I'm warning you all, don't get any closer. Don't even think about trying to kill me. Oh, wait, you don't want to die? No, of course I don't want to die. You should have said so. You know this is the undead village, right? Yes, I'm aware, but I didn't come here to become undead myself. That's odd. Do you think people have come here before not wanting to be killed? I mean, I can't imagine every one of your visitors wants to die. Do you just kill everyone upon arrival here? I mean, generally speaking, yeah. We've never really been directly asked not to kill somebody. Being dead is great! We all love it. We assume the rest of the world has realized by now how great being dead is, eh? No, most of the world still fears death, myself included. Well, we are terribly, terribly sorry for the inconvenience. Why don't you come join us in the village? We'd love to have you. I didn't come here to sit down and share tea with you. I came here seeking vengeance. You want to kill us? Mm-hmm. You know that we're undead. That's kind of like the whole deal. Yeah, we're undead. That's our whole shtick. I'll find a way to end you. Hey, I'm just throwing out ideas here, but why don't we have a peaceful discussion? I mean, hey, without a civil transaction of words, we would still be under the impression that you came here to die. I come here seeking to avenge the gorilla princess, who was killed by all of you. That is quite a bold accusation you're making there. Well, after all this talk about killing people on sight and not understanding that death is a bad thing, is it really that bold of an accusation? Oh, the gorilla princess is living with us in the village. You know, we normally do kill anyone who comes here, but since she's royalty, we figured we should make an exception. So we didn't, anger the gorilla king, because that would be bad. So she recognized our kindness and decided to come stay with us in the village. She's there now. Well, you did make the gorilla king angry. That's why he sent me here to kill you all, because for all he knows, his daughter is dead. Oh, what an utterly terrible misunderstanding. Here, come back to the village. We'll get you the princess. You'll take her to the king. He'll be so relieved to see that his daughter is alive and well, and honestly had the time of her life here.
I know the boy has always been like a nephew to you, but he is now a traitor. I want you to kill him. It will be done.
So, you're a gorilla. And a princess. What's that like? Oh god, this is bad news. Get behind me. No.
Sorry, Zach. Your father's orders.
My beloved, beautiful son, Zach. He is with the gods now.
What happened to him, sir? What happened to Zach?
He was murdered. by monsters. Zach was an amazing son, and he would have made an even more amazing chief. So it is with deepest sorrow that I fire this arrow for him. May he live on in Valhalla forever. Now, my friends, we must punish the monsters. For who could be next? Your child? Let's teach the monsters a lesson they'll never forget.
Welcome to Valhalla, Zach.
You're Thor.
That I am. And I came here to personally greet you.
Wow. Are you sure this is Valhalla?
Why wouldn't it be, Zach?
Well, I just didn't expect...
You didn't expect there to be any monsters in Valhalla, did you? You expected Valhalla to be full of all the glorious Viking heroes, and you expected hell to be full of all the monster scum. Even after living amongst them, you still do not think highly of the monsters, Zach.
I do. I mean, I'm trying to. It's difficult to unlearn what my father taught me.
Your father sent an assassin to kill you. I think now is as good a time as any to sever the family ties and begin thinking for yourself.
So are there really no Vikings here at all?
There are some, but after your father became chief, all the Vikings started going to hell.
So it's true. My father forced the monsters off their land, shunned them to lesser corners of the country, and created the myth that they're all just animals.
Yes, it is true. His corrupt and evil ways set Vikings off course. Now any man who serves him or supports him ends up in hell.
I wish I could go back and set things straight, let people know the truth, end my father's reign of tyranny.
You can.
What?
You think the mighty Thor makes an appearance in Valhalla to greet every new arrival? No. You're special, Zach. You have been hand-selected by the gods for a very important role. You will return to Midgard. You will face your father, and with the monsters at your side, you will defeat the Vikings.
How can I be so sure the monsters will fight alongside me?
Well, you will be fighting to take back their land for them, so they will stand beside you. But in case they don't listen, Zach Erickson, I now pronounce you King of all monsters. Wear this sacred piece, and the monsters will know you are their king. I have bestowed upon you the powers of a god. This divine intervention will set the course of history straight, and set the Vikings back on the right path, so they may join us in Valhalla. Can I trust you, Zach Erickson?
Yes. Yes, you can.
We declare war.
For what possible reason?
The murder of my daughter.
We did not kill her. We sent the human boy back to you with her in his custody.
Lies. You must have killed Zach as well, our trusted friend. What is the meaning of this assembly?
These fools are trying to declare war on us for a murder we didn't commit.
These lowlifes are trying to get off the hook for a crime they most certainly committed. We found my daughter's body. She had been fatally stabbed.
We don't even use weapons. Your story is full of plot holes, you blundering goof.
I trust none of you, but I have slightly less trust for the gorillas and werewolves, so I will stand with the ghosts and zombies. If you seek to declare war on them, you declare war on all of us. So be it. Everyone stop this at once.
Zach?
You may call me king. The gods have given me that title, along with unbelievable abilities and command of the greatest monster alive. He has stayed out of your affairs for many centuries, but no longer. He is here to fight with you, and I am here to lead you.
But who are we fighting?
Not each other. Never each other again. It is the Vikings that drove you all apart, created rifts between your clans, created hatred against each other. It was the Vikings that killed the gorilla princess. It was the Vikings that killed me. No longer will there be separate monster clans. Today, we unite all the monsters. Today, my friends, we end the Vikings.
Chief, that looks like your boy.
Hello, Father. I assume you used my demise as a tool to rally your men. Very clever. The question is, will they still stand beside you now that you've been exposed as a liar?
Of course, I am their chief!
Perhaps there is no need for a war here at all, if the Vikings will only listen to me. My father, Chief Erickson, had me killed, and then he lied to you all, to get you to help him attack the very monsters that have only been trying to reclaim their rightful homeland for centuries. He has deceived you. I have seen Valhalla. My father is preventing all of you from going there. All those who serve under his tyrannical rule end up freezing in hell.
My father has disrupted the path of good that the Vikings were once on. Help me set things right.
I've killed the boy once, sir. I'll do it again. This is not the end of us.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Thank you, friend. Perhaps I will need you again someday. I shall use my abilities to expand and divide the land. Monsters and Vikings shall at last coexist. I am Chief Zach Erickson of the Vikings, and King Zach Erickson of the monsters, and I declare eternal peace.
Sir, we are overjoyed by what you've done here, but we must mention one thing.
What is that?
The bodies of the chief and the assassin, they're gone. Do you think they could have escaped somehow?
Well, I shot them both with quite a powerful blast of lightning. I'm certain they were just blown to smithereens.
It's just you'd think there'd be something left of them, a patch of skin or a scrap of metal. But there's nothing.
Nonsense. Let's enjoy this prosperity. The tyranny is over.
All is well.